What's up, YouTube? Go check this gadget. Coming to you with my thoughts for the Samsung Galaxy Fold 3 and if you should get it or if you should not. Now, I'm not going to be bench testing any, batteries and all that type of stuff. That's not what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about uses and if it'll be a good use for you and if you can figure out if it might be what you need or what you don't need. So, this is the green color. I can't remember the other part, the other name, but it's the green color. You wouldn't be able to tell that it's the green color just looking at it because it kind of looks black, but once you put the black one beside it, you can definitely tell this is a lighter color there. So that's the nice thing. And the only thing about that is you can only get other colors if you get the 256 model. In order to get the 512 model, you have to stick with black. So I'm actually going to be going to the black because I want to get the 512 model. I'm coming from the Fold 1, which I got this when the Fold 2 came out. And I love my Fold 1. I actually really like the form factor of it. I guess because of the curves and it's light. It's definitely light compared to the Fold 2. So, and it's just like a 1 gram difference between these two. So this year is $200 cheaper, starting at $1,798, $1,800 basically. And they brought down, I think it's like 5 grams less weight than the Fold 2. I think it's at 271 or 271, I think. So at first it did feel heavy to me, but because the Fold 2 was definitely heavy. Like between the Fold 1 and the Fold 2, that Fold 2 was heavy. But once I took my case off, because I looked it up and it said it was within 1 gram of this one, I'm like, I don't feel as light. But I took the case off, it did help. So it does feel much more enjoyable to hold in the hands. It is wider than the Fold 1. But before I get to comparing Fold 1, Fold 2, if you should upgrade, let me just tell you basically why I like it and what I think this phone is good for. So I like it because it's light. We got the full screen now, just like on the Fold 2. We got the full screen, and we have the S Pen. So my use cases, the reason why I want to go up to the 512 is, for one, on the original one, I'm coming from 512. For two, I plan to keep this phone for a couple years. And for three, I believe the Fold 3 is an excellent phone for a person that has a lot of photos and want to have like a digital photo album with them on the go all the time. The Fold 3, the Fold series, period, but the Fold makes a great phone for showing off your gallery and your photos. I mean, think about it. Look, you got this nice large canvas to show photos, and you can take it around with you all the time. Just think about it. You out on the go, think of your real estate agent. You got properties to show. Showing your client, you got this nice big real estate instead of on a, typical, bar size phone or something like that. You got this nice big screen real estate. You're at the family events. You got your aunties, uncles, grandma, granny, want to see pictures. Old folks, they like everything big. So now they got a big old canvas to look at the pictures. It's just excellent. I think if you are a person that carries a lot of photos and you've been saving all your photos from previous, this is great for you. Especially considering we do not get an SD card anymore. So and photos are just getting bigger, and especially if you take a lot of videos, because videos take up more storage. And then you got the higher quality, you got 4K now and all that stuff. So 256 is a lot. 256 gigabytes, that is a lot. But when you factor in, you're putting all your photos from previous years that you've accumulated over time, and then you also want space for new photos and new videos, and you plan to keep this phone for a couple years, then that's when you factor in, okay, let me go ahead and get the 512 just to be safe. I have a bunch of devices, but when it comes to photos, I think this is the top winner. Before this, it was my Galaxy Note that I liked looking at my photo. It's phone-wise, as far as phones. It was my Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, but this, you can't beat having photos on here. So, if you're a person, a lot of photos, I think this is the phone for you. Number 2. S Pen. If you are someone, if you're a Note person, if you have been in the Note family or you've been with the Samsung tabs and using the S Pen, then you will like this using the S Pen on here too. It works really smooth. Let me pull up the Notes app. Super smooth. That's me writing. Let me so super smooth, very fluid to me. I'm looking through the screen here, but very, very fluid. Works great. This one, they have a special fold. They have two different versions. This is the $50 one. Then they have it's a bigger one. It's like $100. Typical S Pen. It reminds me of the S Pens that you get with the tablets, except those are just slightly taller. But this one has a retractable one. It has a retractable tip, and that's why you have to get this one. But honestly, I don't even know. Like, you have to be pressing really hard because it just glides over the screen. Like, I don't even want to press it on here that hard. But so you see it, I'm pressing it down. That's me applying pressure for no reason. Because that's me not applying. It glides fine. So I don't even know why you would need to press that hard. But you know, some folks are just heavy-handed. So S Pen, if you are a person that might need to take some notes down and you rather write instead of type. I know personally for me, because I'm just so used to all my other devices I have to type. With the S Pen, when I'm on my tablets, I just like to write out stuff and let it transform into the text for me. Just because I just like to write sometimes. Like, you know, jobs and stuff and phones, you know, you're always texting, typing on the computer. Sometimes it's just nice to write. And if you are a fan of writing, like I like a lot of pens and stuff, I like writing and writing utensils, then getting the S Pen only seems right. And then the other reason I like this is because it's my tablet on the go. So let me give you my example of what I use the Fold for, and maybe that'll help you figure out if you'll use it. Because I think of what it comes to is a lot of people don't know, once they get it, they're like, yeah, it's a cool device, but what am I going to use it for? Because now that they have the bigger screen compared to the original, you know, a lot of people get the phone and then they're like, yeah, I mean, I saw plenty of people like, yeah, I get the phone, but I only use it on the front screen. I didn't really find my need to open it. And so then they go back to, you know, like their S21 Ultra or whatever. It's like, I'd rather just have the candy bar style phone because they never opened it. Now, for me, for one, the Fold has never been my main phone. It's always been a secondary or third option. And then number two, this screen is so small, like when you open it, it's like, yeah. So, I think mainly because the Fold has never been my main phone, I've always just used it open screen. So that's how I use it. So I think that's something you might have to think about is if you're going to be having it as your main phone, you might end up falling to the category of people that just use the front screen and then feel like, well, what did I spend all this money for? I can just get the Ultra, S21 Ultra or something like that, or S20 Ultra or something like that. So you have to keep that in mind. Now, if this is going to be a secondary phone, which is what I recommend, is using as a secondary phone, then it's your tablet on the go. So when I'm out, when I'm at a restaurant or something, I might want to research something, or I'm just waiting for food, bust it open, and just pull up a website or something. Let me pull up a website. Just so you can browse. So it's basically, I'm just browsing the internet. I use it usually when let me take it off dark mode so you can see here. So I mainly just use it when I'm out and I'm just going to be browsing the web. So if I'm out, I'm browsing the web. That's getting something to do. It's really a nice feature when you go to the restaurant, since everyone's going to the QR codes now. When you got to look at the food menu, this is perfect for that. But yeah, so really I only use this phone mainly when I'm out. When I'm out on the go, it's my like tablet on the go. Because it's about the same size as the iPad mini screen. If you take away the bezels, it's that. So it's my tablet on the go for when I'm out and I want to pull up a full website versus squeezing looking at my phone. Now, some people, if you find just busting out your phone is easier, if you're on the go, and when you're out on the go, you're on the go, and just looking at your phone is easier and that's it, this might not be the phone for you, because then it's like you're never going to use it. And that's sometimes what happened to me, and why I was thinking, should I even get the Fold 3? Because honestly, sometimes I feel like I don't use my Fold 1 enough. But this phone is it's so nice. I just gotta have it. So that's something you have to think about. And then another thing, when I'm at home, if I'm being honest, I don't use this phone a lot at home. Because when I'm at home, I'm not gonna go, if I'm looking at a website like I had the website up, I'm not gonna pull that up and use that at home. For me, I have a bunch of tablets, so I'm gonna grab my tablet. I'm gonna either grab my laptop, grab one of my bigger tablets, or when I'm going to bed, I'm gonna grab my iPad mini. Because with the Fold 2 and stuff, if you had got the Fold 2, you see how they gave a whole list of things that you can't do. So I never felt comfortable even having the Fold, and still, even now that I know this has a stronger screen, I still don't feel comfortable falling asleep with it just because it is a foldable device. Whereas with my iPad, it's a slab, so I'm not worried about rolling over on it. So I will use that before I use this. So this doesn't really get used at home unless I'm watching YouTube. If I'm watching YouTube, sometimes I'll grab the Fold. It gives for a nice YouTube experience. Other than that, that's the only reason I use it at home. So you really have to think about your use cases if this is worth it for you. They did give $700 trade-in for this, but that still leaves, like I said, this phone retails at $1,800, so that still leaves a nice chunk of money that you have to think about when you're going to be upgrading. But for me, let me tell you if you should upgrade. I believe Fold 1 owners should upgrade. Reason being, first of all, you have a wider screen. You don't have to worry about that over there, that little notch section. Not that it bothered me on the Fold 1, but it might bother some people. You have the wider screen, the taller usable screen on the front. I mean, this is usable, but this is usable. You have the form factor's nice. Cameras are going to be improved. And then you have the S Pen functionality, which makes it all worth it for me. It's an easy upgrade for the Fold 1. If you're coming from the Fold 2, I will only say the only reason to upgrade is if you need the S Pen. If you don't feel you're going to be using the S Pen that much, or you're not going to be thinking don't need it, don't upgrade. If you like the idea of having the S Pen capabilities, then upgrade. Other than that, just keep your Fold 2, because it's the same form factor. It's lighter, but I mean, you still got to pay a bunch of money. I think last time I checked, they were giving $900 for the Fold, and they might give $1,000. They'll probably bump that up to $1,000 for holidays or whatever. So Fold 2, I want to upgrade. Fold 1, absolutely. Should you get this phone? Is it a good phone for you to get? Yes, if you're going to use it. I would say if you're going to have it as your main phone, absolutely, this is a great phone. If you're fine with the weight and you're going to be using this as your main phone, I think this is 100% an awesome choice as a main phone. You just get the best of worth. I mean, the screen is usable on the front. Then you can open it up. It's light compared to last year. It's an excellent phone if you're going to be using this as your main phone. If you're going to be using it as a secondary phone, you need to think about, are you going to be using it that often? But usually if you're getting something as a secondary phone, you're okay with using it, spending a little extra money because, it's not a main phone anyway. So, but still, it's still a lot of money. You just got to think about how you're going to use it. And for me, that comes down to, do you have tablets and stuff at home, computers and stuff at home? If so, you might not use it much at home as a secondary device. But if you're out on the go all the time, this can be good. I see it good for being like real estate people showing clients, if you got to sign a lot of documents, stuff like that. Check a lot of emails, just pull up documents. I think it might be good. If you're a student, it could be good too. You might be at work and want to get some work done, or look on Canvas, check some PDFs and stuff like that. But you can't, you don't want to have your tablet and stuff, but this is a phone. You can just bust this out real quick, get a little bit of studying done, but you don't have your whole tablet, a whole laptop. It's, real nice and discreet, but you still got this nice big real estate to get some studying done. You just got to think about how you're going to use it. So when you factor all that in, hopefully that helped. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll try to answer them. And till next time, later.